And again, how is your situation then? Nothing can be said about it. The only thing you can say, there is no duality anymore. And I have a kind of experience of it. I'm conscious of it. And that is not a distance observation at a distance, or knowing at a distance, no. It is an immediate, not dual experience. A being experience. And again, what are the dimensions of that being? It's infinite.
And with that you mean you can't find any borders?
Yeah, try it. That's very important. At every level, you have to see it for yourself, you have to investigate it for yourself. Look, when you have a doubt, oh, investigate it, oh, I see it. Now, it is so clear to me, there are no doubts anymore. That's realization. It is to realize that that is the case, and it is realization in the sense that it has become reality. But again, we can see what can be said about the new situation in which there is an infinite experienced conscious being. It's infinite being, infinite consciousness. There's so, even then, an affective characteristic. When you are feeling, you are growing, you are becoming broader and broader. What kind of feeling goes with it? Bliss? Yeah. So, in that infinite sphere of being conscious, there's also the aspect of infinite bliss. That's a traditional formulation, Sat Chit Ananda. It is being experience of being yourself, infinite, non-dual. But it is also, it has a kind of experienced aspect that it is yourself. Yourself, or that Satchitananda. That being. Therefore, Nisargadatta Maharaj called it, I am. I'm not this, not that, but I am. That infinite being.
How could you check that this is not yet another mental construction in the sense of brain construction? That is not yet a new delusion and a new reality you create through this special feeling? I'm asking because according to recent research in neurosciences, there are some parts of the brain which you can, with electricity, and it gives the person the feeling of oneness, of expansion of consciousness, and the whole description of emptiness or of non-duality. So how could you, from inside I mean, feel the difference between a new delusion or a simple mental brain process and something different, if there is anything different?
Yeah, in the tradition of Advaita, this point has been discussed extensively. because an important part of the whole Advaitic approach is to discern between illusion and reality. How can we see if a situation experienced is an illusion or reality, or also in a relative manner, a higher reality? Now, the answer is see for yourself. When there is not much light, you can see not so much, and so there might be an illusion. For instance, in India, when a man is coming home and he sees there a snake, then that snake is a reality to him under those conditions of a little light. And he's screaming. Other people come in with light, and then they see that was only a cord. But oh no, it was not a snake. It was an illusion to believe that it was a snake. But now there is more light, and now we see reality. Even if it is a relative reality, it is a higher reality than that reality of a snake. And so you have to proceed. Go first back to your own situation and establish where you can find a situation in which you are saying, oh now, here, now. This for me, reality. There is no other reality than this. I'm sitting here, I'm feeling my body, I'm feeling the chair, I'm breathing, and this is it. No doubt. And then you can go on. Then you can go on. And your example, you were referring to science, so we have to talk about science. Then again, you have to look step by step. Oh, this for me is a higher reality than that. This is to me a higher reality too. And so on. Science has a kind of knowledge which has a high quality of truth. But then you have to look further. Maybe we'll do it after the pause, but immediately you can say the scientific truth is a very specific truth. It is a truth inside of a context of duality, for instance. We are going further, starting from our own experience. Step by step of this. When I do this step, I see, oh yeah, this is a higher truth than the previous one, because there is more light, because there is less doubt, and so on and so on. And then you see that science has a certain truth at a certain level. When you are going into your mental frame, then you say, oh no, science, that's the only truth. But when you are going a little further, you're saying, oh no, I see the construction of science. And again, we are talking later on a little more on science. And it is important to do that, because science is part of everybody's existence in our modern world. Most people believe in science as the highest truth. And so science is constructive of ourselves. For instance, our neurobiological self. But it is a construction starting from preconceptions, from hypotheses, from theories, from models, from a certain kind of dualistic approach. And we have to see the limitations of science. But again, we can talk later about it. Let us, for this moment, go back to that situation, first of all, of the perceiver consciousness. To the release of yourself into I am, Satchitananda. And then when you are staying there for a long time, you can have the internal experience that the last characteristics, that the last qualities, the qualities of Satchitananda, the quality of I am, are disappearing. Becomes a vapor, and they fade away.
Ik heb dit laatste niet begrepen, of niet verstaan ook. Wat je zei laten zien.
When you are staying there, internally consciousness of Satchitananda, infinite, being, consciousness, bliss, I am, then you can say that that are the last qualities which are existing in that infinite sphere. And then, earlier or later, these last qualities are disappearing. Into what? Into something which has no conditions, no qualities. And yeah, that is called the Absolute. In his final years, the Maharaj talked only about this. So the highest non-duality is not that of the perceiving consciousness. It is not that of being infinite. It is an absolute, of which there can be a certain kind of knowledge. Yeah.
In the non-dual state that we talk about, there is no separation and everything is one. In that state, do you find that you are affected, of course, whatever, by everything, everything affects. So if another being has, let's take pain for an example, would you be affected in the body conscious, as a reality in your own body? Would you be affected by pain? Because it's just an example, it could be anything.
Yeah, but to understand it, you have to go with me to that level of oneness. That was a place from which you were questioning. when there is oneness, that is that infinite sphere of Satchitananda, that is the sphere of I am, without qualities. I am. Only there is I am conscious. There's bliss. But there is unity. And then, when there is a kind of bodily experience more at the material level, then it will appear only in the context of that unity. When you have the very clear experience, I am infinite. In that infinite sphere, infinity is very, very big. There is some small experience, oh, there's pain. That's a big difference with the other situation in which you think you are the material body and I'm here and this everything of myself. Then that pain much bigger. That's much more suffering. So that's a great difference. Very simple, it is another perspective, another sphere in which you yourself are experiencing more in everyday life. You can see when you have to get a prick, then you can concentrate on that pain. Then the pain is a very great pain. Otherwise you can say, oh no, I'm experiencing my body as a whole, and then oh, there's no problem. That's the difference.
I was talking about another person, another person's pain. Say my neighbor has pain and I feel it in my body.
Yeah, of course. There is no numbness, so you're feeling everything more than you did before. But again, it is taken up in that non-dual sphere. And that makes a big difference.